yesterday. There was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hannah Olson and I like to make videos about motherhood, lifestyle, and homemaking and homeschooling content. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you're new here, I would love to have you along for the ride. Today's video is a fun one because we're talking about traveling, and specifically I'm talking about toys and activities or games that your children can bring along with them on a road trip. A little bit of background for you. I am sharing these activities and ideas, these toys, because I have a lot of experience road tripping with my kids. I have a 3.5-year-old daughter and an almost 1.5-year-old son. When I say I have a lot of experience road tripping with them, it's not always going on vacations or traveling, particularly in the last year or so, but what it has been for our family is traveling at least 2 hours one way, and we do that about once a week. Now, I get into this in some past videos of mine, so you can check those out too, especially when we talked about a life update and moving into the apartment here. But basically we live in 2 locations as a family. We try to stick together, but we live in 2 different locations, a house and an apartment. That's because of my husband's job, but those are 2 hours apart from each other. So we do a lot of road tripping if you count 2 hours one way as a road trip. I just do a lot of car driving with little kids, and I wanted to share my tips and tricks with you. This first toy is one of those Fidget cubes, but this is a FisherPrice brand one, and it's, of course, obviously for a younger age. It's not like those ones they make for teenagers or preteens or whatever. Even adults, I think, they have smaller ones too. But this has really kept Soren busy, not only on flights, but in the car. It's large enough for him to hold on to, and there is a whole variety of really interesting things on this cube. I like these little buttons. They're just little purple buttons. There's a metal ball here that you can kind of fidget with, a wheel, even a switch, and just interesting textures and other just sensory things for a little one to hold on to and play with. I think it really has kept Soren's attention. Like I said, these toys work for flights too a lot of the time. We actually brought this on a flight recently, and it seems kind of bulky, but it ended up being a really good pick for us to have in the bag. So I definitely recommend this FisherPrice fidget cube. Something else that has been really great for Soren in the car are these Schleich Animals. That's the brand, it's called Schleich. They're just really realistic looking hard, we call them our hard toys because I remind the kids not to throw hard toys. These are not stuffed animals, but they're very realistic looking animal figurines. You can find them at stores like Tractor Supply, the more rural stores, maybe a Menards type of store, but these are also at toy stores too. And there's a huge variety of them, of course, all sorts of animals. These are all of the baby animals that I brought on a recent trip for Soren, just because they're smaller, but we have the adult giraffe too. This is a baby giraffe, a foal, and a calf. But Soren has really loved playing with them. Sophie takes a turn with them too and does some imaginary play, but he especially tries to make the animals make their noises and just loves to hold on to them. So this kind of toy even works well if you're waiting in a long line, if you are expecting to have a long wait somewhere at a doctor's office, or just in a line at a museum, or anywhere your family is traveling or waiting. These are great. We stayed in line, I think, on a recent trip for 40 minutes, and these 3 animals were really helpful for Soren. So I recommend these Schleich Animals. I will link them below. They're just really fascinating for kids to look at and imagine and play with. Something else that Soren has really enjoyed, but this is a toy that spans between his age and then even a 3-year-old or so, is this book called My Storybook. I will link it below because that's a hard term to search for just on Amazon. But basically, let's see if anything falls out here. There are all these little tasks you do to get a stuffed bunny, which I don't have the stuffed bunny here, but there's a stuffed bunny that comes with the book, and you can tuck him in bed, you can brush his teeth with this little toothbrush, you can give him a bath in this bathtub, and a lot of this book involves like pockets and other little things for the bunny to peek behind or tuck into, and it's kind of the whole bedtime routine for a little stuffed bunny. The bunny, I'm sorry I don't have it right here, but it's just a small little, like smaller than the size of my hand, flat stuffed bunny that fits right within the zippers of this book. And Soren has really enjoyed it. He doesn't know all of the you know, little tasks that he can make the bunny do, but it's something that a toddler can really just fiddle around with on a trip. And then again, it's good for older ages too, because Sophie, my 3.5-year-old, can really imagine and play with this bunny's bedtime routine. Things like this little circle popper toy are always a hit. I will link this one below. They do have a brand also called Dimple, D-I-M-P-L, and they have like larger silicone types of bubbles that you can pop, but this one's almost like popping bubble wrap. It's kind of addicting actually. I know I've grabbed it on a road trip when I was just the passenger and sat by Bjorn talking and playing with this, but I will link this below because it's so easy to just hand to a child in the back seat and it keeps their attention for a while. It's definitely a fun sensory toy. I'm a big fan of these tiny board books for little kids. We have some even smaller ones that I got for free at a garage sale, but this is an Usborne brand. It came as a little set of different construction truck books, and Soren just loves paging through them and seeing all the construction trucks doing their work. So don't forget books. I feel like we get so excited sometimes about providing our kids with great toys and activities to do in the car, but sometimes a good book really uses up the time well in the car, and of course it's educational and so valuable for them. Finger puppets are super fun, especially for my 1.5-year-old. Soren absolutely loves finger puppets. I don't know what it is, but he just giggles and giggles about finger puppets. There's something special about them. I think it's the fact that you can kind of manipulate them and make them wiggle around a little bit. But I'll try to find this one and link it for you. If not, I'll link something similar, but just little finger puppets. This is a silicone one, can be really valuable on a car trip as well. Another great road trip toy is a Magnadoodle. You are probably familiar with Magnadoodles or these magnetic drawing boards. There's like a magnetic substance inside that kind of gets raised up by the magnetic tip of the pen. And this is a rainbow one, so we've got kind of a rainbow color going on. Wherever you draw is a slightly different color, which is extra fun, and then you can erase it easily across the bottom. I do recommend certain brands over others. Just watch the Amazon reviews on them. I will link this one below because our pen has not fallen off yet. I think if you go a really cheap route, which this one wasn't that expensive anyway, but if you don't really watch the reviews and stuff, you might find yourself with a pen that keeps popping off of the string, which is no fun at all on a road trip. But a Magnadoodle is always a great car toy, something you can easily hand back to a kid in the back seat, and they can keep track of the different parts pretty well. We do have 3 magnets that I have taken off because I didn't really want Soren sucking on them and stuff, but we have little magnets that were stamps that go along with this one. So just kind of determine what you want your kids to be holding in the back seat when you can't quite reach them super well. But this helps with creativity, and especially my 1.5-year-old son. He's young, but he loves drawing, and then he's fascinated by erasing it too. So definitely recommend these. I bought this one for a recent flight our family went on because it was smaller. So there are all sorts of sizes you can get to. That's it for today's video. I had a blast collecting all of these things from our van and bringing them in here to share with you. I hope it was useful to you. I hope it comes in handy when you have any long or short car rides in the future. I think these are really great activities for toddlers or even preschoolers to do in the car. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, because that helps me know to make more videos like this. I mentioned before, but I do videos on motherhood and homeschooling, homemaking, all sorts of things. Comment down below with what your favorite road trip essentials are, or your favorite road trip toys are for kids. I would love to hear, because I'm always collecting ideas as I am frequently driving with my kids, and it's always fun to hear what works for other families too. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.